What happens if you ignore a debt lawsuit? If you've recently been served with court papers, you've probably asked yourself this question. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you're hoping the lawsuit will just go away if you don't respond. Unfortunately, that's usually not how the legal system works. Welcome back to Lawsuit Defense Boss. Today we're going to talk about one of the most common mistakes consumers make after being sued by a debt collector: ignoring the lawsuit. Before we begin, this video is for educational purposes only and is not legal advice. Every case is different, and you should consult a qualified attorney regarding your specific situation. Let's start with why people ignore lawsuits in the first place. Most people don't ignore a lawsuit because they don't care. They ignore it because they're overwhelmed. I've seen people receive a summons and immediately think, I can't afford an attorney. I know I owe the debt. There's nothing I can do. Or my personal favorite, if I ignore it, maybe they'll forget about me. The problem is that the court process keeps moving whether you participate or not. When a lawsuit is filed, there are typically deadlines involved. Those deadlines matter. The court isn't going to call you and remind you. The debt collector isn't going to send you a friendly text message reminding you to respond. The responsibility usually falls on the person who was served. Now, let's talk about something called a default judgment. A default judgment is a legal term that often comes up when a defendant fails to respond to a lawsuit. In general terms, when one side doesn't participate, the other side may ask the court to move forward without them. This is one reason why ignoring a lawsuit can create additional problems. The key takeaway here is simple. Doing nothing is still a decision. And in many situations, it may not be the best decision. Another mistake I see is people assuming that because they recognize the debt, the lawsuit is automatically over. That's not how legal proceedings work. A lawsuit is a legal process. Understanding the allegations, reviewing the documents, identifying deadlines, and learning about your options are all important steps. Knowledge is power. The more you understand, the less intimidating the process becomes. Let's also talk about the emotional side of this. Debt lawsuits create stress. I've seen people lose sleep. I've seen people avoid their mailbox. I've seen people become physically sick from anxiety. But here's what I want you to remember. Receiving a lawsuit does not define you. Financial hardship happens to people from all walks of life. Job losses happen, medical emergencies happen, divorce happens, life happens. The important thing is how you respond moving forward. If you've been served with a debt lawsuit, here are 3 things you should do immediately. First, read every page carefully. Second, identify any deadlines listed in the paperwork. Third, begin educating yourself about the process and your available options. The goal is not to panic. The goal is to become informed. Because informed consumers make better decisions. If you've recently been served, leave a comment below and tell me what your biggest concern is. Was it wage garnishment? Was it your bank account? Was it your credit? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Lawsuit Defense Boss. In our next video, we're going to answer another common question. Do debt collectors actually need proof to win a lawsuit? Until next time, remember, know your rights. Defend your future.